Hello everyone, welcome to the online class series organized by Government College Malappuram. Today's topic is environmental pollution. We have heard the term environment often being on the television, in newspaper and by people around us. What do you mean by the term environment? Environment derived from Greek literally means surroundings. Environment can be defined as the all social, economic, biological, physical and chemical factors which constitute the surroundings and influence the life of a living organism in its natural habitat. Environment consists of four segments. These are atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. The first segment of the environment is atmosphere. It is the protective cover of gases consisting mainly of nitrogen and oxygen, along with carbon dioxide, ozone, argon and some traces of helium, neon, methane, etc. What are the major functions of atmosphere? Do you know? It absorbs all the harmful solar radiations and allow only near UV visible light, near IR and radio frequency waves to pass through towards the earth. Moreover, it absorbs part of the IR radiation emitted by the sun and re-emitted by the earth, thereby maintain the thermal balance of the earth. Moreover, atmosphere is the major source for oxygen which is essential for life. Further, the major source for carbon dioxide is atmosphere which is essential for photosynthesis. The second segment of the environment is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere contains all the water resources. Approximately 97% of the earth water is in the ocean, 2% of it is tied up in polar ice caps and glaciers, and only 1% is available in freshwater bodies like rivers, streams and as groundwater. The third segment of the environment is lithosphere. It is the outer mantle of the solid earth, that is the outer surface of the soil. It consisting mainly minerals occurring in the earth's crust in the form of soils, rocks, etc. The fourth segment of the atmosphere is biosphere. It denotes the kingdom of living organism, including plants and animals, where they live together, depend on each other and interact with other segments of the environment. These are the four segments of the environment. Do you know what is the difference between environmental studies and environmental chemistry? Environmental studies deals with the all social, economic, biological, physical and chemical interrelations between the living organisms and its surroundings, whereas the environmental chemistry deals with the study of chemical phenomena in the environment. It includes origin, transport, reactions, effects, fates of a chemical species in the environment. Now, we clearly define three terms: environment, environmental studies and environmental chemistry. Okay. Now, we come to the point environmental pollution. Pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse effects. Pollution has accompanied the civilization. Pollution started from prehistoric times when man created a first fire. According to a 1983 article in the journal Science, the soot found on the ceilings of a prehistoric caves provide ample evidence for the high levels of pollution that was associated with the inadequate ventilation on open fire. It was the industrialization that gave birth to environmental pollution. Environmental pollution is the contamination of any substance or agent which have detrimental effects to the environment. It means they are harmful to plants, animals and human beings. Pollutions are different types and may be classified in different ways. According to the type of environment polluted, it may be classified into air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution, etc. In the air pollution, the air is being polluted. The another type of classification is based on the type of pollutant involved. For example, pesticide pollution, fertilizer pollution, carbon monoxide pollution and so on. In the first pesticide pollution, pesticide is the pollutant. Another classification is based on the agent or factor that cause the pollution. For example, noise pollution, radiation pollution, thermal pollution, etc. Then another type of classification is based on the source, that is point source pollution and non-point source pollution. Point source pollution is resulting from a single identifiable source. For example, the noise pollution from a jet engine. Here jet engine is the single point source. The non-point source of pollution resulting from many diffuse sources. For example, runoff water from agricultural areas and draining into the nearby water body. Then next up, the pollutant. What do you mean by the pollutant? Do you know? It is the substance, agent or factor that is responsible for the pollution. It may be any solid, liquid or gaseous substance present in greater concentration than in natural abundance, or agent or factor that is the result of human activities or natural happenings and ultimately harmful to the environment. Pollutants may be classified in different ways. An important way of classification is based on the degradability. Here the pollutants are classified into three types. Firstly, degradable pollutants or non-persistent pollutants. These are broken down by natural process. For example, domestic waste, discarded vegetables. The second category of classification, that is into non-degradable pollutants. These are not broken down by natural process. For example, heavy metals, lead, cadmium, etc. The third category, slowly degradable or persistent pollutant. These remain in the environment for many decades without degradation. For example, plastics, nuclear waste, pesticides like DDT. The another type of classification of pollutant is primary pollutant and secondary pollutant. Primary pollutant is a pollutant directly from the emission source. For example, smoke, ash, etc., sulfur dioxide, etc. The secondary pollutant is formed when primary pollutant reacts in atmosphere. For example, sulfur trioxide. It is formed when sulfur dioxide react with oxygen. Another example is smog. Smog is the result of the reaction between smoke and fog. Similarly, another classification of pollutant is into global pollutant, local pollutants and regional pollutants. Global pollutant can cause damage globally. For example, carbon dioxide pollution, global warming, is the result of increase in concentration of greenhouse gases. The local pollutants can cause damage near the emission source. For example, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide pollution. Next, the regional pollutants. Regional pollutant can cause damage further from the emission source. Acid rain, smog, etc. These are the various type of pollutant classification. Then, now we can discuss each type of pollution in detail. Firstly, water pollution. In recent times, one of the most significant environmental pollution is water pollution. The major reason for water pollution are none other than human activities. Man has deteriorated the quality of water by discharging toxic and harmful substance into freshwater bodies. Now, the freshwater bodies are turned out to be mere chemical drains or sewage canals. The pure water, the elixir of life, is now a precious commodity. The water pollution is the contamination of water by undesirable substances which alter the quality and characteristics such that its normal functions and usefulness in domestic, agricultural and industrial fields are adversely affected. A water pollutant is a substance, agent or factor which is responsible for the water pollution. For example, agricultural runoff, pesticides, fertilizer, heavy metals and so on. The water pollution may be classified into different types according to the pollutants involved. That is, water pollution by sewage, water pollution by pesticides, water pollution by fertilizer, water pollution by heavy metals and so on. Now we can discuss each type of water pollution one by one. Firstly, water pollution by sewage. Sewage is the household waste. It includes the organic and inorganic waste matter of the community carried by water. It contains less than 1% of solids and more than 99% of water. Among the solids present, 70% of the organic matter containing fats, lipids, proteins, etc. And the inorganic fraction contains grits, salt, metals, etc. in varying proportions. What are the adverse effects of a sewage? You are familiar with the foul smell of drainage water. That is, the sewage water induces foul smell, imparts color to it and causes turbidity. As the sewage contains human and animal excreta, it is the carrier of several pathogenic organisms. That is, it causes immense health problem to public. For example, the waterborne diseases are typhoid, paratyphoid, cholera, polio, etc. We have already said that the sewage contains organic matter. The organic matter creates the depletion of dissolved oxygen and leads to destruction of organisms. as the sewage contains huge amounts of nutrients. This leads to algal growth. The massive algal growth again leads to depletion of dissolved oxygen and destruction of aquatic organism. Moreover, the excess growth of alga and other weeds present in water creates an unaesthetic scene and also disturb the transportational and recreational uses of water. These are the major adverse effects of a sewage pollution. Then, how can control the sewage pollution? It can be controlled by using sewage treatment plants before discharge. It can be discharged into sewage treatment plants. It includes the primary treatment and remove settlable solids. The secondary treatment contains microorganisms and anaerobic and aerobic oxidation. It removes the organic matter in the secondary treatment. The tertiary treatment contains the advanced methods of physical, biological and chemical methods and also recycling. This is about water pollution by sewage. The second category, water pollution by industrial effluents. The industrial effluents cause immense problem to water. It has a greatest potential to pollute water. It contains nutrients, organic matter, some complex material, a highly toxic substance, and these are very harmful to all living organisms, including aquatic organism as well as terrestrial organism. The effluents from pulp and paper mills, organic chemical plants, distilleries, tanneries, etc. contain organic matter. This organic matter leads to depletion of dissolved oxygen and leads to destruction of aquatic organism. The effluents from fertilizer industries cause eutrophication because it contains huge amounts of phosphate and nitrate ions. This leads to massive algal growth, again leads to depletion of dissolved oxygen and destruction of aquatic organism. Mineral constituents render water excessively hard, and so it cannot be used in domestic or industrial purpose. Water from metal plating industries, that is the effluents from metal plating industries containing cyanides and heavy metals. These are carcinogenic and they cause cancers. The effluents from radioactive plants or nuclear reactor cause radiation pollution. Effluents from tanneries contains pathogenic bacteria like anthrax bacilli, which are very harmful to all organisms. These are the major adverse effects of water pollution by industrial effluents. How to control the industrial effluent water pollution? Mainly it can be achieved. It should be treated before discharge. This also contains primary treatment. Primary treatment contains the chemical treatment, include oxidation, neutralization, etc. The secondary treatment includes microorganisms, that is aerobic and anaerobic oxidation. The tertiary treatment includes advanced methods of chemical, physical and biological methods and also recycling. This is the second category of water pollution. The third category of water pollution is by soaps and detergents. Soaps and detergents pollution is caused by the effluents from domestic sewage and effluents from soaps and detergent factories. We know soaps create no serious problem with respect to degradability. These are much more biodegradable. But soaps are hydrolyzed to fatty acids, which introduces organic matter into the water. The organic matter leads to depletion of dissolved oxygen and destruction of aquatic organisms. Soaps also create turbidity in water. But in the case of detergents do the excellent job of cleaning, but they are not fully degradable. Detergents are mainly three types: LAS category, linear alkyl benzene sulfonate category, and non-ionic esters of sucrose are much more biodegradable. But detergents belonging to TPBS category, tetrapropylate benzene sulfonate category, have the greatest disadvantage that they are not fully biodegradable. So, they are persistent in water in a suspended form and cause serious problems or public health problems. The presence of detergent causes foaming in sewage treatment plants as well as in the receiving waters, thereby reduce the aeration rates. Even 0.5 ppm of detergent can reduce the aeration rate. This will result in the depletion of dissolved oxygen. That is, the amount of oxygen dissolved again decreases. The calcium containing detergents prevent the flow of water by forming a gel-like layer. Most importantly, detergent cause various acute and long-term diseases on various organisms. This include: it impairs the selective permeability of the cell membrane, it interacts with the enzymes, it alters the infrastructure of the cell, it affects the external sensory organs of the various organisms, and external sensory organs of the various organisms and affect their capturing tendency and food search. Now, we learned that different types of water pollution, that is water pollution by sewage, water pollution by industrial effluents, water pollution by soaps and detergents. Thank you for watching.